Good day to one and all. This is Dr. Sivaraman of IKnowIndices.com. Fine, you are able to hear me. Good day, Sandra. Thanks for confirming. Asian session live market analysis on September 27th. Between 5 and 5:30 GMT, we'll be reviewing the market using the live market code page. I'll give the link for the same. Let me open the live market code page. Currently, Euro is trading around 1.3471, 1.3473. The low is 1.3448, the high is 1.3494. 18 pips negative net change is seen. And in the case of GBP, it is holding strongly around 1.58, 1.5823, 1.5827 are the correct level, 1.25807 as the low, and 1.5842 is the high. You find 3 pips negative net change. So when Euro is showing more negative net change, GBP is showing less negative net change. So even though they are making nominal USD gaining move, but Euro is making more when compared to that of GBP. So that is mainly to make the slide to start with. In the case of Euro GBP, it is currently trading around 0.8511, 0.8514 level. So here they will try to consolidate and build a sell position and later on try to drop. You would have noticed last week that Euro was looking very strong, GBP was looking very weak, and towards close of the week, they quickly gained the levels in the case of GBP, holding Euro. So as a result, you find that Euro GBP initially gained the levels and subsequently Euro GBP cross has started making the slide. Now you come across 15 pips negative net change, and so when the traders sell after the drop, the players gain the levels and hold it at higher level. Automatically the traders come for a short covering, then turn long thinking that technically it will go higher, but the players will try to build a sell position and just withdraw the support from the market, and automatically the currency pair slides. So this is what happens on a daily basis, and on a weekly basis we have to understand that how exactly the players are making the market sentiment and acting against that of the traders. And that reading will help us to understand whether we have to do a buy and sell trade or a sell and buy trade. And in the case of USD Yen, 84.25, 84.28 are the current levels, 84.21 is the low, 84.37 is the high. 4 pips nominal positive net change is seen. And in the case of CHF, about 20 pips positive net change is seen. And Canadian dollar shows about 7 pips positive net change. Australian dollar is showing about 10 pips negative net change. So all are making a nominal USD gaining move. What is expected during this particular day? And you know that we have come to the last week of this particular month. So obviously you know very well there will be more volatility in the market. So let me just display the camera over the PowerPoint presentation. The expected market moves for today. During the Japanese session, swing and slide moves are expected. Nominal slide could be seen. Then during the European session, swing and rise moves are expected. And during the US session, they are expected to rise more. I've shown the wrong slide. I'm extremely sorry. Yeah. Sorry, I showed a wrong slide earlier. That was for the 23rd. So during the Japanese session, swing and firm up moves are expected. And during the European session, quick rise and slide towards close, little bit of slide. Then again during US session, swing and rise moves are expected. So these are all the expected moves for today. And you know that it is the last week of the month. So we could come across more volatile moves in the market. So you have to keep in mind that always during the month beginning and the month end time, we will come across more volatile moves. So keep in mind that the market could suddenly make volatile moves. So you have to necessarily use the hedging to limit the risk, and you cannot simply be bullish or bearish. And if you are a small trader, then avoid taking positions. And if you got a capacity to withstand, then you can hold it. And the expected market moves in this particular week, let me explain. So accordingly, you can plan it. So today, 27th, they are expected to gain slowly the level, and then tomorrow we could come across further gains, and Wednesday 29th we could come across very high midweek volatile moves. So before that we can book some profit in our holding buy positions, and subsequently during the drop on Wednesday you can buy during the late European session. Anyhow, I'll be giving the Asian session webinars on those days. Then on 30th, we could come across very aggressive gains in the market. So the market should show further shift in trading zone, and it will start making the swings in the new trading zone, and you have to watch that and avoid taking sell positions during that. If you are holding buy positions, you can book profit and wait for the drop to enter long, and don't think that you are very smart and try to do sell and buy trade immediately, and you might see that profit in a sell and buy trade. But if you fail to keep stop at entry and try to exit with a nominal profit, then the position will make big loss during further quick rise. So keep that in mind, that we should be able to select a trade which is very safe rather than trying to select a high risk trade during shift in trading zone. See, in a normal conditions, you can sell near that of the high when the high is not being breached, or buy near that of the low when the low is not being breached for 30 minutes from the start of the session. But during the last week, one need to understand that month-end volatile moves could be seen. So that volatile move, whether you will be able to withstand, and whether your equity will permit you to withstand such things, you have to see. Then only you can think of further taking risk. Otherwise, avoid trading during the last week of the month and the first week of the month, and you will come across the trending moves in between those weeks. That time you can do the trade according to the market trend. That will be an easy way of trading. Now, with regard to the initial lows and the highs, Euro formed the low of 1.3448, 1.3494 is the high, and both are intact. And in the case of GBP, 1.5807, 1.5842, both are intact. And CHF also, the high and the low are not breached. Yen also, the high and the low are not breached. In Australian dollar, also a similar condition. You find the high and the low are not breached. And Canadian dollar also, same, the high and the low are not breached. That indicates that the traders are uncertain and they are not willing to take the positions in the market aggressively, and probably sporadic positions are being taken by the traders. So the players are expecting the volumes to come in and also holding it closer to that of the high for the season, so that the traders will think that sell and buy trade could be possible, and then later on you will find that they are being trapped. So on the downside, you know that how they trap it by dropping any level you try to find as a good buy level, they will show further lower level and induce fear. Similarly, on the upside, they are expected to make here, and so one has to be careful that when they are willing to trap the short sellers, or when they are aiming to trap the short sellers, then don't short it. When they are aiming to trap the long holders, don't buy it. Wait for them to settle that particular move, then you enter long position. Similarly, when they let them do all quick rises, then afterwards you can just go in for a sell and buy trade. So I will indicate you beforehand when exactly you can do such trades. So till such time you try to do only buy and sell trade, that could be relatively safe. So let me minimize the PowerPoint presentation and focus the camera over the live market code page and take up the questions which are asked here. Francisco, you taught us to observe and trace high and low by 3:30 GMT, and you are referring to Japanese or US session levels. See, whatever you come across in the live market code page, you kindly make a note of that. And they are the highs and the lows set by that of the interbank treasury and the players. So let us not argue on that particular thing because they are using those levels as reference levels. So if you expect logistics from them, then it might be difficult because you know very well that market does not make moves based on logistics, and only then the traders can get surprises. Euro GBP longer term. Uh, Instead of talking it as a longer term, it is expected to swing around that 85, 0.85 to 0.8550 to 0.8250 level in Balu. What will be the bottom of USD-INR? USD-INR could go to 44.75 and then reverse. The nano route. Today we can expect a low volume and a weak beginning falls. There is no guarantee that low volume has to be there in the market all the time, and probably initially the traders will be hesitant to commit a position, either a sell or a buy, and depending upon the trend, they will try to take positions. And now people will think that there is a consolidation here, whether it is going to upward or downward, they'll be interested to know. But the algorithm says that there is going to be an upward move. So accordingly, you can take positions whenever there are dips. And still use the hedging to limit the risk. Don't unnecessarily take a high risk trade. San Francisco. Can we state that hedging is better than use stop when market has a clear and strong trend, while stops are preferable to use when the market is making swing moves with no clear trend? You can choose according to your convenience. See, the only difference between using hedging and the stop closes the position so that you have to rethink and you have to reanalyze the market and then enter back into the market. Whereas if you use hedging, then you will be able to review the market in relation to your positions, holding positions, and probably that could give a better picture for you rather than doing any type of analysis. That's what my perception is. Then J. Is the GBP, Euro GBP and Australian dollar expected to rise in the US session? Yeah, Euro, GBP and Australian dollar, they are expected to rise during US session. Okay. What is the expected move for USD I've been telling that the denominator currencies, they are going to hold it for a longer time, and probably you know that it is the last week of the month. So the month-end redemptions will come with regard to the positions. So obviously they will try to create all sorts of uncertainties, and those who are holding the derivative position, they will induce them to liquidate it with a penalty. So obviously they could hold it till 30th and suddenly they could gain the levels on 1st of October. in J. In the case of Euro GBP, will it rise or pull back? So Euro GBP cross, already it has gained up to that level of 0.85, and probably they could make a high level consolidation now, and then later on when GBP started gaining, you see that GBP is showing positive net change, Euro is showing negative net change. So when they make a quick rise in the case of GBP and a slow rise in the case of Euro, obviously Euro GBP is expected to slide. See, only on weekend there will be short covering. Okay, afterwards week beginning, there won't be any short covering to start with. Then the traders will perceive it is a good buy level and try to buy. Then they will induce long liquidation. So I have given it in my trading system webinar that after the extended move, you will come across the next day the opposite move. So if you follow those things carefully, then you will find it easy to track the market. Do you expect the GBP to reach 1.59? Yeah, it could rise further up, then grow. Will the swings in the market be around 50 pips? Yeah, because it's last week of the month, gradually the spread in the swing could increase to about 50 to 75 pips during the coming days. If I were to take a sell position in gold, what would be the hedging? B, 50 pips. In the case of gold, you know that they are trading in terms of dollars in troy ounce. So obviously you can try to take a risk for about $5 to $6. If you try to keep about 50 pips and things like that, they will hit it. The spread between the bid and the ask is high, about 225 pips. So if you keep 50 pips, then probably it will get hit. And the only way is take very mini lot so that you can keep a higher level stop. But still, it is doing higher level consolidation here. And why unnecessarily take a position and get struck with that? House. What do you mean by short squeeze? It is not the only terminology which I am using it. In most of the markets, other analysts also use it. Short squeeze means they will just quickly gain the levels in the market. So the short sellers will come and just buy it at any level as if it is going to be a very scarce commodity. And that is referred as short squeeze. Long liquidation is at any lowest level, traders will be willing to liquidate the long position out of fear or facing for the loss. Do you expect USDN to continue its slide to go below 84? Yeah, there is a possibility it can go below 84 towards the end of this week in order to hit all the options and the derivatives during that particular time. Then probably people may not talk about interventions at that time. Then what is your view on USD CHF and USD CAD today? They are expected to make range bound swings and they may not be able to gain a very substantial level. So one can aim for about 30 to 50 pips swing trade. My suggestion will be focus on Euro and GBP so that you will be able to earn much better profit when compared to that of the denominator currency. So any more questions? Okay. So I explained it that small traders focus on Euro and GBP trade and other trades are meant for position trading like USD CAD, USD CHF. And in the case of Australian dollar, they will be making more of a higher level consolidation. And if you try to do a buy and sell or a sell and buy, you may not get a bigger profit when compared to that of Euro and GBP. So The best currency pairs to trade to start with in this particular week will be Euro and GBP. Just ignore the other currencies and probably use it as a reference material for your understanding of the market and focus on your profit. That is what I'm trying to. Because small traders, when they think of taking position in gold, it is a high risk trade, and so I will not advise small traders to focus that way. Well, profit taking in gold start at 1300. First of all, you have to show when they are going to see 1300. And once it is shown, then probably a lot of traders will come for profit booking, and then the players could show further up another $30-40. And the psychological levels never remain as the support as the resistance. Then Grisser, demonstrate next week to trade. Denominators next week to trade. Yes, probably next week or the week after. Probably you can take some positions there, but still you will not be able to aim big profit. If you are sentimentally attached to such currency pairs, I don't have any say. Do you see GBP at 1.60? Yeah, possible. Then following sessions have opposite forecast. So what is the recommended strategy? Sell and buy or a buy? Wait for the drop and try to take buy position. That's what I can suggest for small traders. Don't unnecessarily try to take a contrarian position during shift in trading zone. If you want to know more about it, then probably go through my trading system webinars. They are all being recorded. There are 10 webinars given in series. You kindly go through that. You'll be able to understand how the market is being manipulated, how they are able to trap alternatively the buyers as well as the sellers. So don't think that the market is meant only to trap the short sellers or meant to trap only the long holders. So when you continuously change your perception, let me do buy and sell, immediately sell and buy, then you will be vulnerably trapped. Instead, try to understand the overall market cycle and try to do the trades according to the overall trend of the market. It is not the trend is your friend. I don't preach that. You have to identify the intentions of the players and go along with the intentions of the play. Then GBP USD is expected to slide to what level? I didn't say that it will slide. Probably they may breach the psychological level 1.58 if needed to hit the stops. But other than that, I'm not expecting much drop. In fact, they are expected to gain the levels quickly. In US equities, do you see more rise? Yeah, there will be more sideways moves in the US equities in this particular month, the last week. Then subsequently in October, I am expecting further rise. Is it wise to take long positions in Euro and GBP during the dips? Yes. Do you expect false week beginning? No, it is the last week of the month. So you will come across more volatile moves and then just establishing the trend in the market. So let me go back to the PowerPoint presentation. Expected market moves for today. Japanese session swing and firm up moves. Then European session quick rise and slide. Towards close of the European session, there could be a slide, and that you can make use of as a buy opportunity. And then US session, they are expected to swing and rise further up. So keep in mind month end and new month beginning falls in this particular week. So volatile moves could be seen, and midweek there could be more volatile moves. So By tomorrow, if you are holding long positions, you can book profit in your uh, buy position and wait for the midweek volatile moves and re-enter again at a lower level. If you want, you are doing position trade, calmly wait for the market to exhibit shift in trading zone to the higher levels and you maximize the profit. So the initial lows and the highs, they are not being breached yet. So market looks subdued to start with and probably they could bring in more activity during the day. So wait for such moves to enter into the market. When it is gone, don't enter into the market. And I take this opportunity to thank FX Street and also you participants who have come here to listen to my webinar. And again tomorrow I'll review the market and give you what could be the possible moves in the market in the days to come. And I also post it in the blog and you can go through the blog and ask questions pertaining to the market action. Then I'll be willing to answer to those questions. Thank you one and all for your presence here. See you again tomorrow. Thank you.